Lexi, and I really like tabletop games. So much so that we sit down together once a week, every week, and review one here at the gaming table. I try to make these videos pretty quick, under 10 minutes, so you can find your next game. If that sounds interesting to you, I encourage you to press subscribe and keep watching today's video. I would like to say a quick thank you to today's game creators who reached out and asked if I would be interested in doing a review. When people reach out to me asking if I can review their games, it often means I get a chance to review games that I might not have been able to find otherwise. I do also need to thank everyone who has donated to my Ko-Fi page. Sometimes game creators can only send me a digital copy. In these circumstances, I get the game printed and bound locally. All of the funds donated to my Ko-Fi page go directly towards this cost. If you would like to donate to my Ko-Fi page, you can find the link to that in my description box. If you would like to see a game you've made on the gaming table, you also can find my contact email address in the description box below. I do have a delay at the moment in between receiving games and getting a review out. I'm just very lucky that lots of people want me to review their games. So a big thank you to everyone who made today's episode happen. Today we are taking a look at a game about rock and roll and rebellion. This is Velvet Generation. A long time ago, music from Earth traveled across galaxies to reach another intelligent life form. They were absolutely smitten, so they embarked on a multi-generational journey across the galaxies to come to Earth. They thought that the beings that had created this music must live in a perfect, harmonious society. When they do arrive, climate change and numerous political disasters have meant the world is not in harmony. Even worse, music has been banned. It was too late to turn back. So, many of them went to Earth to try find where music might be found. Turns out you can ban music. Doesn't mean you can stop it. This is the backdrop in which the game takes place. Player characters play either as humans or star children, aliens in disguise, who are trying to make their way in the world of music. Original music is underground now, and lots of bands have to be paid or sponsored by organized crime. Bands still pursue music in spite of it being dangerous and illegal, not just because they want their songs heard, but because they want their message heard. There are some little details in this world that I really appreciate. I really like how it explains how climate change was dealt with. In the midst of government inertia, wealthy individuals deployed their own solution to avoid total annihilation. This was done without any coordination between individuals and with little thought to the consequences of these actions. This means while humanity is not dead yet, there's plenty of other problems now to deal with. The main example they cite is one called the Gloom. Someone wealthy decided to launch a bunch of nanobots into the atmosphere that have small shields to protect the Earth from the sun to prevent it warming any further. While this definitely worked, it meant for decades after they were initially deployed, the world was in complete darkness. Even now that things seem to be stable, turns out there isn't an off switch for these things. The most light people will ever get is that of an overcast day. We're not sure if no one can find the off button or if one wasn't made in the first place. This game is played using dice pools and making sets. I did find this a bit tricky to wrap my head around, and even now I'm not entirely sure if I totally get it. Initially you roll a dice pool and you might take out a couple of dice that have the same result on the die. Then you can re-roll the remaining die, trying to make as many matching sets as possible. Such as you roll 5 dice, you see 2 3s, so you take those 2 3s aside, and you re-roll the remaining 3 die to try and get another 3. The opportunity to re-roll tends to come through activating solos or special abilities your character has. The more dice you can put in a set, the better the results of your efforts are. Depending on how hard the challenge is, the manual seems to suggest that it might be specifically looking for a particular type of set. I'm not too sure how plausible this would be for players to be able to fulfill. Building your character actually begins with the group building a concept for your band. So you're not just default a rock or punk band in this game. If you like, you could be an all-women ska band singing about environmentalism. To pick what kind of character you're going to play, you choose a role that you'll fulfill in the game. This will help shape what special abilities only your character has access to, and what stats they use. There's the diva, the virtuoso, the backbeat, the synth wizard, the suit, the roadie, the remix, the firebrand, criminal, journalist, or muscle. There are some additional roles you can then also pick that don't have anything to do, I suppose, with your life in music. Interestingly, this game is a reboot of a game from the 90s. I did a bit of brief reading about this previous iteration, but it seems like this manual is a complete reboot of the concept. That does certainly make it easier for me to review the game. If you are a believer in music's ability to move and motivate people, then this could be a really fun game to play. I'm not entirely sure if I've accurately understood or represented the dice pooling system and making matching sets. If you have thoughts about that, or you can provide any clarification about what I might be missing, please let me know in the comments down below. Something I do find interesting is the game manual doesn't really tell you about what your character's messages should be as a band. It's vaguely anti-establishment, but what exactly your band is pushing for could be very different to another band. A copy of this game retails for around $45 US. If the concept of a band railing against the authority sounds fun to you, then definitely that is worth checking out. So what would you look like in such a world? Do you think you would be part of a band? What kind of role would you want to play? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. While you're there, I encourage you to like this video and perhaps share it with a friend who you think might find it interesting. While you're down there, if you want to find my next video, you can subscribe and turn on notifications to be told when it will be released. I want to say thank you again to the kind folks at Velvet Generation for reaching out to me with a copy of their game to review. I also do need to thank everyone who donated to my Ko-Fi page so I could get the game printed and bound. If you'd like to donate to the channel, you can do so by following the link in the description box. I do also have there my email address should you like to get in touch about me doing a review. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you're well, and I look forward to seeing you next time at the gaming table. Bye!